Edgar Allan Poe. A name synonymous with the macabre, the mysterious, the darkly beautiful. His words, like whispers from the abyss, have captivated readers for centuries. Poe, a master of the written word, crafted tales that delve into the deepest recesses of the human psyche. His genius lay in his ability to make the extraordinary seem palpable, to transform fear and sorrow into art. His stories and poems remain timeless, transcending generations. They speak to the darkness that resides within us all, the fears that haunt our waking moments, and the nightmares that plague our sleep. Poe's legacy extends beyond the printed page. His influence can be seen in literature, film, music, and art. From the haunting melodies of Gothic metal to the chilling imagery of horror films, his mark is undeniable. Today, we embark on a journey into the depths of one of Poe's most celebrated works, The Raven. Prepare to be transported to a realm where sorrow and the supernatural intertwine, where the lines between reality and madness blur. The Raven stands as a testament to Poe's mastery of language and his unparalleled ability to evoke emotion. The poem explores themes of love, loss, and the relentless grip of grief. Its verses draw the reader into a world of darkness and despair. Perhaps it is the universality of its themes. We have all experienced loss and felt the sting of sorrow. Poe's words give voice to these emotions. Whatever the reason, The Raven remains a literary masterpiece. The poem opens on a bleak December night. Our narrator, weary and sorrowful, seeks solace in ancient books. He is haunted by a sense of unease, a palpable loneliness that permeates the very air he breathes. The night is heavy with despair, a reflection of the narrator's own tormented soul. The only light in the room emanates from a dying fire and a single flickering candle. The shadows dance and writhe, taking on ominous shapes that further fuel the narrator's growing anxiety. He is lost in a labyrinth of forgotten lore, desperately seeking escape from the pain that consumes him. Suddenly, a sound breaks the silence, a gentle rapping at his chamber door. The sound, though faint, sends a jolt of fear through the narrator's heart. He tries to dismiss it as a visitor, a figment of his weary imagination. But deep down, a seed of doubt is sown. The tapping persists, a steady rhythm against the silence of the night. The narrator, his mind already on edge, finds himself unable to ignore the insistent knocking. The fire crackles, sending a fleeting image of the narrator's lost love, Lenore, dancing in the flames. Her memory, bittersweet and agonizing, is a constant presence in his thoughts. He yearns for her touch, her voice, her very essence. December, a month of bitter cold and fading light, serves as a constant reminder of his loss. Each dying ember in the fireplace represents another moment lost, another second further from his beloved Lenore. He attempts to find solace in his books, to lose himself in their pages and escape the crushing weight of his sorrow. But even the power of words fails to provide him with the comfort he so desperately craves. Lenore's absence is a gaping wound in his soul, a constant ache that refuses to be soothed. The narrator is trapped in a cycle of grief, unable to move on from the memory of his lost love. A sudden rustling of the purple curtains startles the narrator, sending a fresh wave of fear through him. He tries to rationalize the sound, attributing it to the wind, but deep down, a primal fear hold. Already on edge, his senses heighten, mind conjuring images of the supernatural. He attempts to reassure himself, repeating that it is just a visitor at his door. But the damage is done. Doubt has crept into his mind, whispering insidious suggestions of something more sinister at play. The tapping continues, a relentless reminder of the unseen presence lurking just beyond the chamber door. The narrator, torn between fear and curiosity, must now confront the source of the disturbance. His heart pounds in his chest, a frantic drumbeat against the silence of the night. The narrator, mustering a fleeting surge of courage, approaches the chamber door. He hesitates, fear momentarily paralyzing him. His heart thunders in his chest, a frantic rhythm against the oppressive silence. He draws a deep breath, steeling himself for the unknown. He throws open the door, expecting to find a late-night visitor seeking shelter, but the hallway beyond is empty, swallowed by an impenetrable darkness. The wind howls outside, a mournful symphony that sends shivers down his spine. He peers into the darkness, his eyes straining to penetrate the shadows. He sees nothing but the impenetrable blackness, yet he can't shake the feeling that he is not alone. The tapping has ceased, replaced by an unsettling silence that seems to pulsate with unseen energy. He whispers the name Lenore, his voice trembling slightly, hoping for a response, a sign that he is not alone in his grief. But only the echo of his own voice answers him, a cruel reminder of the emptiness that surrounds him. The narrator, his mind racing, retreats back into the relative safety of his chamber. He tries to convince himself that the wind and his own weary mind have played tricks on him. He attempts to focus on his books, to lose himself in their pages once more. But the silence is broken once again. This time by a tapping coming from the window. The narrator's blood runs cold, his previous terror returning with renewed intensity. He had checked the door, assured himself that no one was there. He approaches the window cautiously, his every sense on high alert. His hand trembles as he reaches for the latch, his heart pounding against his ribs. He pushes the window open, a gust of cold air rushing into the room, carrying with it the scent of rain and something else, something ancient and otherworldly. And then he sees it. Perched upon the bust of Pallas, just above his chamber door, sits a raven, its eyes gleaming with an unnatural intelligence. The creature regards him with an unwavering gaze, its presence both captivating and terrifying. The raven, a creature of myth and legend, seems out of place in the confines of the narrator's study. Its feathers are as dark as night, its eyes like polished obsidian reflecting the flickering candlelight. It sits motionless, its presence filling the room with an almost tangible sense of dread. The narrator, momentarily stunned into silence, finds himself strangely drawn to the creature. He had expected fear, revulsion even, but instead he feels a strange kinship with this creature of darkness. They are both in their own way prisoners of sorrow. He speaks to the raven, his voice a hesitant whisper, asking the creature its name. The raven, in a voice as deep and resonant as a tolling bell, utters a single word, nevermore. The word hangs in the air, heavy with unspoken meaning. The narrator is both startled and intrigued by the raven's response. He had not expected the creature to speak, but now that it has, he finds himself unable to ignore its pronouncements. The raven's single utterance, nevermore, echoes in the narrator's ears. It is a word heavy with finality, a denial of hope and solace. The narrator, both intrigued and disturbed, attempts to rationalize the bird's presence and its cryptic utterance. He contemplates the raven's origins, wondering if it is a messenger from some forgotten realm. Could this creature be a harbinger of his own impending doom? Or is it merely a creature of habit, its vocabulary limited to a single haunting word? The narrator attempts to dismiss nevermore as a meaningless utterance, a trick learned from a previous master. He tries to convince himself that there is no significance to the bird's presence, that it is merely a bizarre interlude in his solitary night. Yet deep down, he feels an unsettling connection to the raven. Its pronouncements, though cryptic, seem to resonate with the despair that has taken root in his soul. He is drawn to the raven, both repelled and fascinated by its pronouncements of doom. The narrator, unable to resist the allure of the unknown, engages the raven in a dialogue. His questions, fueled by grief and longing, delve into life, death, and reunion with Lenore. But the raven's answer is the same as before: nevermore. Will he see her again in the afterlife? The raven's response shatters the narrator's fragile hope. Nevermore, it intones, a death knell to his dreams of reunion. The raven's pronouncements of nevermore become a haunting refrain, a constant reminder of the narrator's despair. He is a prisoner in his own home, his mind a dungeon of sorrow and regret. The raven becomes a symbol of the narrator's grief, now serving only to amplify his despair. The narrator, defeated and broken, surrenders to the darkness that has enveloped him. The final image of the raven is one of utter despair. The narrator, consumed by grief and the raven's pronouncements of nevermore, resigns himself to a life shrouded in shadow. He is trapped, both physically and mentally, by the weight of his sorrow. The raven, a harbinger of darkness, becomes a permanent fixture in his life, a constant reminder of his loss and the futility of hope. The poem's conclusion, however, is not merely a descent into madness. It is a powerful exploration of the human condition, a testament to the enduring power of grief and the fragility of hope. Poe does not offer easy answers or comforting platitudes. Instead, he forces us to confront the raw, unfiltered emotions that accompany loss. Nevermore echoes through the narrator's chamber, but it also resonates within us, the readers. It is a stark reminder of our own mortality, the inevitability of loss, and the enduring power of memory. We are left to ponder the nature of grief, its ability to shape our perceptions and color our experiences. The Raven is more than just a poem. It is a literary phenomenon. Its impact on literature, music, art, and popular culture is undeniable. Poe's masterful use of language, his exploration of dark themes, and his ability to evoke powerful emotions continue to inspire artists and audiences alike. The poem's influence can be seen in the works of countless writers, from Gothic horror to detective fiction. Its exploration of the macabre, the supernatural, and the depths of human psychology paved the way for new genres and pushed the boundaries of literary expression. The Raven also resonated with musicians, inspiring countless adaptations and interpretations. From classical compositions to heavy metal anthems, the poem's themes of loss, despair, and the search for meaning have found a voice in music across genres. The Raven, once a creature shrouded in myth and folklore, has become an iconic symbol of Poe's work. Its dark plumage, piercing gaze, and haunting croak have been featured in countless films, television shows, video games, and works of art. From classic horror films like The Crow to the dark fantasy world of Game of Thrones, the Raven continues to captivate audiences, often serving as a harbinger of change, a symbol of the supernatural, or a reminder of the darker aspects of human nature. Poe's influence extends beyond the screen and the page. The Raven has become a popular subject in fashion, tattoos, and even home decor. Its image, once associated with death and despair, has been reinterpreted and embraced as a symbol of mystery, intelligence, and the allure of the unknown. The Raven, though steeped in darkness and despair, ultimately transcends its Gothic setting. It is a timeless exploration of the human condition, a reflection on our shared experiences of love, loss, grief, and the search for meaning in a world often shrouded in shadow. Poe's masterpiece reminds us that even in the darkest of times, when hope seems lost and despair threatens to consume us, there is beauty to be found in the act of confronting our emotions, in acknowledging the power of memory, and in seeking connection, even if it is with a creature as enigmatic and unsettling as a raven. The poem's enduring legacy lies in its ability to resonate with readers across generations, cultures, and languages. It speaks to the universality of human experience, reminding us that we are not alone in our pain, our doubts, and our search for meaning in a world that often feels chaotic and unpredictable. As we reach the end of our journey into the depths of the Raven, we are left with a profound sense of the poem's enduring power. Its words continue to echo in our minds. Nevermore, the Raven had declared, and yet the Raven itself lives on. It is a testament to the power of literature to transcend time. and to remind us that even in the face of loss and sorrow, a single candle can illuminate the vastness of our emotions. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share.